Yo, 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 it's your boy, Ray Mabry. And on today's episode, what we're going to do is I have my assistant here with me, Angela. Angela is in the Philippines and she does cold calling for our company. And so what we're going to do is just kind of go through our weekly training where we're going to go over our cold calling script and, make sure that we're just working on our craft. Because one thing that I emphasize as far as business is concerned, whatever it is that you're doing, you got to make sure you continue to work on your craft and get better every day. All right. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm sure, I'm going to give her some feedback on things, but we're just going to go through the script a couple of times, go do some role playing. And from there, we're just going to kind of see how it goes. All right. So you ready, Angela?
I'm ready.
All right. So what we're going to do is Angela's going to be the investor. She's going to be the caller. I'm going to be the seller. So she's going to call me and we're just going to do role playing. This is going to be fictitious. So if I say something like, I've got 20 kids or, whatever, if I live here or there, this is role playing. Okay, guys. So don't take stuff face value. But at the same time, we're going to just kind of show you guys, how we operate, how we go through our script, how she's able to generate leads just by making a cold call, and how we're able to consistently convert those leads into deals and get them closed on a monthly basis, okay? So you ready, Angela?
I'm ready.
All right, so you go ahead and call me.
All right, ring, ring.
Hello?
Hi, this is Angela, and I'm calling about your property on Elm Street. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Who is this again?
This is Angela, and the reason for my call is because we're looking to buy more homes in the area, and I wanted to reach out to you, see if you were interested in selling your property for cash.
I hadn't thought about it. How much you gonna pay me?
Well, we would love to make you an offer, but what I need to do first, though, is get a little information about the property, see if it fits our buying criteria. So what can you tell me about the property?
I don't know. What do you want to know about it?
Well, could you tell me about the condition on the inside? What kind of repairs are needed?
Okay. Well, Elm Street, we've owned that property. My wife and I have owned that property probably 15, 20 years. It's been paid off for several years now, and we just use it as a cash flow rental. We do have tenants in there. They've probably been there for 3 years now, and they pay well. They pay on time each month. So we haven't had any issues with those tenants. And so, we don't have to sell, obviously, but, just kind of depends on, what kind of deal we can work out. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. Square footage is probably 900 square feet, give or take. As I stated before, we've owned about 15, 20 years. And, that's about it.
I see. Well, you mentioned that you have tenants in there. How much are they paying for rent?
That rent for that particular property, they're paying $725 a month.
Okay, perfect. And how old is the roof?
The roof? We've had it 15. We got the roof. We went through and did a complete overhaul in that property about 5 years ago. So everything was completely redone about 5 years ago. Yeah, about 5 years ago. So, nothing needs to be done to it. The HVAC has been updated. The roof and everything has been updated. Went through and did paint. So if those tenants were happy to move out, we probably had to go and do some type of touch-up paint. But we went through and we took out all the carpet and put linoleum on the floor, and there are some natural hardwoods throughout as well. So, it's pretty maintenance free as far as the flooring is concerned. And so, as I stated, the house has been pretty good for us. We don't have to sell it. So it just kind of depends on what you're going to offer.
Well, based on its current condition, what do you think your property is worth?
I paid about $20,000 for that property about 15, 20 years ago. I know it's worth more than that. If I had to put a value on that, I'd probably say the house is worth at least $40,000.
And if I paid you all cash, closed quickly, and paid all your closing costs, what's the least you would take for your property in cash?
The least, huh? I couldn't let that house go for no less than about 35,000 cash.
35,000. Is that the best you can do?
Yeah, that's the best I can do.
Well, right now, let me get with my partners to run some numbers, and we will call you back within 24 hours or less with a cash offer. How does that sound?
That sounds pretty good. And what's your name again, ma'am?
My name's Angela. Is this your best contact number, 111-222-3211?
Yes, this is my cell number. You can reach me on it almost any time throughout the day. Just don't call me beyond 8 o'clock p.m. By that time, I'm relaxed and done with the day. So yeah, I have it on my hip pocket almost all throughout the day.
All right, great. Sounds good. Thank you so much for your time, and we will talk soon. You have a great day. You take care.
Okay, you too. All right, so how do you think you did?
Pretty good, I guess.
Okay.
I think.
All
At
right,
least I think I do.
so actually you did a great job. You flow with it and stuff. There were a couple of things that you did leave off. For instance, what's my motivation? What's my reason for selling?
I wasn't able to ask you
Exactly.
why you're.
So make sure you always have to get the person's reason for selling. I think I even said something in my script that that I didn't have to sell, or it depends on the price. But even in that, that's not really motivation. So you have to find out. Like, hey, what would prompt me to sell? The way I sounded as a seller, I didn't have to sell. I even told you I didn't have to sell. So you have to kind of, find out that reasoning. So make sure you make a note. Always find out the seller's motivation. Okay. Also, you confirm my number. You confirm the best time. I tell you the best time to call me. Did you confirm the property address?
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah, because you just said Elm Street, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think even when you said that, I think I was like, that property on Elm Street. That right there was a little small, subtle hint of what? Like if I say something like that property on Elm Street, what does that mean? What does that say to you?
That you're not sure?
No, that property on Elm Street, if I say something like that property on Elm Street, that could be like a telltale sign that I may have more properties. See what I'm saying? Because I'm saying that one on Elm Street, if that was the only one I had, then obviously I wouldn't have made that kind of response. Now, it's been assumptive, but it's okay to be assumptive when you're fact finding, because you remember your job as a cold caller is you just gathering information. You just fact finding, gathering information, kind of, seeing what my motivation is, seeing what you can, kind of gather from them, and then we'll get together, evaluate it, see if it's a deal, and then kind of go back with a game plan. So in that, if you hear a person say something like that property or which one, remember, whenever you hear somebody says like, well, which property are you referring to? Or if you just say, I'm calling about your property in this particular zip code or this particular area, and they say, oh yeah, that one or something like that, you just gotta listen. You gotta always make sure before you get off the phone and say, hey, before you go, let me ask you a question. What other properties do you have that you need to sell for cash? And a lot of times they may come back and be like, well, let's focus on this one first, and then, we can work something out, then we can go. I can tell you what else I have. But remember, you got to make sure you always get that information. And a lot of times you'll get that information on the second call. Like this first call, we really try to focus on finding out what's going on with that subject property that we're calling about. But then once we do a follow-up call and you build a more rapport, then you can ask them more questions about other properties. But here's the other thing you got to keep in mind too. You have to try to get as much information as you can on the initial call, because we may say, well, we'll call back within 24 hours, but then he or she doesn't pick up in 24 hours. And now we got them in follow-up, and it may take a week or 2 weeks to get these people back on the phone. And so at least in the meantime, we'll know that, they have other properties, other potential properties that they may be interested in selling. Okay. All right. Good
Gotcha.
job. Okay. Let's do another one. All right. And before we do another one, just so you see, as I share this information with Angela, this is what we do. This is how we kind of go through, and this is how we generate deals. We use a system, a dialer, mojosales.com, and we have lists that we get, in which if you're interested in finding out what kind of list, just reach out to me, and I can put you in contact with my list broker. And we just cold call. She just cold calls sellers. She have these conversations with them, and then from there we identify who's motivated, who's not motivated, and somebody that motivated. And we'll try to go through the process to see if we can put a deal together. Okay. But good job, Angela. So we're gonna do one more, and
Thank
then
you.
we're going to wrap it up for the day. Okay. All right. And
Okay.
this time I may be a little hard on you. All right. So you ready?
Okay, I think I am.
Yeah. And just so you know, guys, as you can see, Angela, she has a great personality, very, very personable. And as I stated before, she's been with the company over a year. She's doing an excellent job. So, she's a little nervous, so that obviously, like, she don't want to make a mistake. She doesn't want to make a mistake. She knows this is being recorded. But at the same time, this is how you get better. This is how you get better, by going through and working on your craft. So not looking for perfection. We looking to just get better. And so I'm expecting mistakes. That way I can give her constructive feedback. Constructive feedback. No criticism here. Constructive feedback. Correct?
Yes, correct.
All right.
That's what we've
So
been doing.
you call me again.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, this is Angela, and I was calling about your property located at 1213 Elm Street. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Why are you calling me about my property?
Well, the reason for my call is because we're looking to buy more homes in the area, and I wanted to reach out to you, see if you were interested in selling your property for cash.
You know, I'm kind of busy right now, so I can't really talk, but I may be interested in selling. I'm not going to give it away though. So, it just kind of depends on, what you guys are offering. I get calls from you guys like all the time. I get postcards and letters and all that stuff. People want to buy my house cash and stuff. So if this is some type of scam, I'm not interested.
I understand. Well, we are sure buyers though, and I could give you a call back whenever you're free to speak.
Okay, so question. All right, so pause the role play, guys.
I'm
Like,
sorry.
why are you ending the call? I told you
Because
I was busy, but why are you ending the call?
he did say that he's busy,
Okay,
and it sounded like he wasn't that interested in talking right now,
okay,
which so far didn't get me as much results um, compared to my follow-up calls with these type of people.
okay.
So yes, that's
Well,
why I
you have to use your best judgment here, but at the same time, just take yourself for instance. So let me just use me as an example. If I am busy and like somebody calls me out the blue, you do kind of like disrupt what I'm working on. So I may be a little short. I may be like to the point, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not a potential seller. I'm not a potential motivated seller. Yes, you did come at the wrong time, and so it's okay to try to reschedule a call, but at least try to have it set up where the person can be like, because I make it still give you 2 or 3 minutes of my time, and that can be enough time to get the information we need to see if this is even a prospect or a suspect. If this is like a hot lead, a warm lead, or even a future follow-up lead. So don't just automatically end the call because the person says that he or she is busy. Say, well, what a better comeback would be like, well, I know you're busy, Angela, but if you got 1 or 2 minutes of your time, or you got 1 or 2 minutes, I just want to ask you a couple questions about your property to see if we can try to work something out, or even see, if this fits our buying criteria, or see if this is a thing where I can make a follow-up call with you at a later time to see if we can try to put a deal together. Do you think you have a couple minutes to at least get a few questions answered? And then at that point, if I come back and say, well, you know what? you really caught me at a bad time. Call me at this time here, this, and that. Then you can schedule an appointment then. Or they say, well, sometimes they say, well, yeah, go ahead. Or yeah, what do you want to know? All right, so that's going to be my response. Like, yeah, what do you want to know? And so go ahead and go in your script. Let's go. We're back in the role player now.
Okay. Sorry, where did you stop?
Like, you asked me if I had a couple minutes to talk. I said, yeah, I have a couple minutes to talk. So what do you want to know about my property?
Okay. Could you tell me about the condition on the inside? What kind of repairs are needed?
That house has been boarded up for like 5 years. I had some people come through and vandalize it. Make sure you're taking notes now. They vandalized it. They, broke out my windows and they punch holes in the walls and all this stuff. And, I've actually had a few letters from the city code violation about, maintaining the grass and all that stuff. They're actually the ones that boarded the house up for me. So I'm sure I got some fees and stuff attached to it. I haven't paid the taxes on it in a couple of years. Actually the house has been a headache. Remember, a headache. That's a buzzword. That's a key word, because now that's identifying my motivation. It's been a headache. Why is it a headache? It's been vandalized. It's been boarded up by the city. Code violations and stuff. So the whole time you're taking these notes now, and so it's been vandalized. And so really and truly, as I stated before, I'm not giving the property away, but if you guys can make me a good offer, I'll let it go today. Have you seen the property?
Well, we haven't yet, but eventually we need to get in there and see the property. Well, we wanted.
You don't have much time, so let's go ahead and go in the money questions, because you already know my motivation. My motivation is it's a hassle. The house has been vandalized and stuff, all right? So I'm a motivated seller. I don't have much time, but now that I've already told you those things, and I am motivated. You just kind of caught me at the wrong time. So go ahead and ask your money questions, because you got the information that you need, and let's see if you can schedule a time to follow up with them, okay? But go ahead and get into the money questions. And these are the money questions here. We have a series of 3 questions that we like to ask back to back, and these are the questions.
Okay, so based on its current condition, what do you think your property is worth?
It's in a lower class neighborhood, like kind of over there, in this zip code here, and I don't want to name like any particular zip codes on the stream, but it's just been a little rental. The neighborhoods went down since I've been owning it the last few years. If I had to guess, it's probably worth $20,000.
All right, great. And if I paid you all.
No. Remember, when you're asking the money questions, don't say any words in between the money questions. All you're doing is asking the questions and then let them respond, and you ask the next question. Don't be like, okay, great. Okay, fine. All right, I see. If you say those things, say them to yourself. Don't say them openly. What you want to do is have a flow. So your first question. That's your question.
Okay. Based on its.
Go ahead.
Based on its current condition, what do you think your property is worth?
It's kind of over there in the hood, and so if I had to put a number on it, it's probably worth somewhere right around $20,000.
If I paid you all cash, closed quickly, and paid all your closing costs, what's the least you would take for your property in cash?
Now remember, and that's fine, but it has a flow, Angela. Remember, it has a flow, and so when you ask these questions, say, let me ask you a question, Angela. Based on this current condition, what do you think your property is worth? All right, so we switch a role play. All right, so you're the seller, I'm the caller.
Maybe around 20,000. I'm really not sure.
So if I paid you all cash, closed quickly, and paid all your closing costs, what's the least you would take for your property cash?
Maybe 17 or 18.5 thousand.
Is that the best you can do?
Yeah, that's the best I can do for now.
You say for now. So you're telling me that if I bought you a briefcase full of cash, full of $100 bills, that had like 9 to 10,000 cash in it, we couldn't do business today?
I still have to discuss with my partner because I'm not the only one calling the shots here.
Okay, so you have a partner in on this property too?
Yes, I do.
Okay, is he or she available now?
No, he's currently at work, but I'll be able to talk to him by tonight.
Okay, tonight. All right, so let's do this then, Angela. How about are you going to be available around this time tomorrow for me to give you a call, and that way it gives you time to talk with your partner and you guys can come up with some type of price, some kind of cash offer for the property?
Yes, you can call me around this time tomorrow.
Okay, great. And then what you want to do, I'm getting off script now, is you want to verify the person's number, the contact number. You want to always ask, is it a landline or a cell number? If it is a landline, a home number, then what are you going to do, Angela?
Ask for their phone number.
Ask for the cell number, right?
Yes, cell
Yeah.
phone number.
So you're going to ask for the cell number, exactly, because you always want to try to get the person's cell number if possible, because they're not always home. Now, depending on the age of the person, some of them just have a landline only, which is very rare, but you do have people that just have a landline, and that's fine too. But yeah, so that's pretty good. And we're gonna get ready to wrap this up now, but one thing that I want you guys to realize, like even when I became the caller and Angela became the seller, is that when there's somebody else involved, you do want to try to go ahead and get that person's information, find out who they are, find out their involvement. Sometimes you have sellers that have to consult with their spouse or with their kids. If it's an older person, they may have to consult with their adult kids. So whoever that other person that's in on the conversation, ideally you want to try to get that person on the phone too, so you can have a three-way conversation, so we can all come together with the meeting of the minds and try to see if we can put some type of deal together. That's not always going to be ideal. In this last scenario, the person was busy, so we was kind of limited on time. But that's why it's important to make sure you set a follow-up time. And here's another thing too. Here's a key point that I want to emphasize. Whenever you schedule a callback time, you got to make sure that you call the seller, you call the person, and not they call you. Sometimes you can have sellers be like, "I'll call you back tomorrow. I'll call you back later." And 9 times out of 10, do they call you, Angela?
No, they do not.
They hardly ever call. And remember now, to them, we're strangers. All right. And so they have no obligation, no commitment to respond to us or to give us a call back. So you as the professional, you as the investor, the business owner, it's very, very important that you make sure you set the callback time. So what you want to do is if a person says something like, well, I'll call you back at 6 o'clock this evening, say, well, you know what, how about this, Angela? I may have an appointment at that time. How about I can give you a call back around 6:05 to 6:15 p.m. this afternoon or this evening? How does that sound? And then Angela say, that sounds great. So what you're doing is you're just switching it. You're just reversing it, switching on them. Don't sit back and wait for the person to call you because they're not going to call you. But what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, I'll give you a call this time. And try to call, if the person said they're going to call you at 6 o'clock, then try to call them close to 6, a little after 6 as possible. Try not to call it 6:15. Try to call it around the 6 o'clock time frame because that's when they're telling you that they're going to be available. Be prompt. And then, on some future calls, we're going to discuss how to make the follow-up call. But yeah, so I hope this call, this role plan has been insightful. As you can see, as I stated before, like this is what we do. We train, we work on our craft. We look to get better each week. But this is what we do all day, every day, 5 days a week. Angela's doing an excellent job. As I stated before, she's real personable. She's nervous now, guys. So, like you see the mistakes, you be like, oh, well, that's simple. No, trust me, guys, it's more to this than what meets the eye. But, she has a great personality when she's on the phone with people. Matter of fact, I've even had people call back because the way our system is set up, the calls are routed back to my phone. And, I've been let sellers know that, I'm the owner of the company. They'd be like, where's Angela? Where's Angela? I want to talk to Angela. And so they're adamant about talking to Angela. And I said, she's a team member. She's a part of the team and all that. They were like, well, have Angela give me a call. And I'm like, well, but, so that's a testament, though, to her building that rapport. And that's what matters when you cold call. And remember, you disrupting people. You are like actually just interfering with a person's lifestyle when they decide to pick the phone up and, you know, you talk to them about their property. So it's going to be very, very important that you go ahead and introduce who you are and tell them why you're calling, and then go ahead and get into the script to see if you can try to put a deal together. Okay. So what we're going to do is from time to time, we're going to, for Angela and I, we do these calls and stuff anyways, but I'm going to be sharing these type of videos with you so you can kind of get a better understanding on how to go through and how to cold call and, you know, get these deals done. This is how we generate almost 100% of our deals. It's just about cold calling, and we just do it over and over and over again. And, you know, we categorize our leads and stuff. And yeah, this is what we do. And so she's the follow-up queen too. I have a thing to where some days she follows with like follow up with 20 to 30, 40 different people. And, you know, it's like, hey, this is Angela, you know, it's following up with you and that. And so we discuss all that in future episodes, but I hope this has been insightful. If you have any questions, if you want to learn what we do, I am going to start some training here shortly. So be on the lookout where I actually teach people how to start and run a successful real estate wholesaling business. And this is what we do, mainly wholesaling, but it's not just wholesaling, but we mainly wholesale. And I can kind of get into more details. You can watch other videos to find out what wholesaling is. But all in all, this is what we do, guys. And so I appreciate you, Angela. I appreciate you. I appreciate all your hard work. And
Thank you, Ray.
do you have any questions for me, Angela?
None.
None? Okay.
None so far.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, well, anyway, guys, thank you for your time. I appreciate you joining. And, you know, until next time, this is your boy, Ray Mabry, about to sign off. Peace.